In the trenches, I be posted in. I'm the one report the news when the homies spin. How my niggas knock them down like bowling pins. Every time we been the block, we just wanna go again. Go, don't fuck around, get your block bent. Poppin' hot shit, I turn him to some content. He yellow tape the scene with no shame, he was blocked in. Did his thing, flee the scene when the shots in. Hoes giving lows, I don't trust them bitches, drop pins. Don't know what they be thinking, but bitch clearly I am not him. Could've been him, but it was him. Nigga, I'm in. I be out the way, it's okay, I been locked in. My niggas is not rappers, Glock blasters. He think I'm just a podcaster. Head snatchers might let me off some shots after. Run the block like Ghostbusters. He got Casper. Pop it on the net, but he not gon' slide. Anything they say about me getting monetized. I see some shit, I think I'm traumatized. Robberies, nigga, homicides. If somebody play with me, I'ma put them on the news. If I get caught with this pistol, they gon' put me up in blues. If my eye catch me lacking, gon' get brackin' with his tool. Know the odds against me, but I'm still packing, I'm no fool.
What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Young Woo back with another On The Block reaction here on The Block News. Y'all know what to do. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, man. Not later, but right now. Also, go ahead, hit that hype button. Let's push this shit to the algorithm and put it in their faces. Listen, man, I'm back with another Boys in the Hood TV video. The title with this one, Big Evil from 9 Deuce Bishop Bloods, called 8 Bodies, and the Hitman for Compton Varrio 70. Man, shout out to the 9 Deuce Bishops, you know what I'm saying? Y'all heard the stories, Jimmy Lavender, Bobby Lavender brothers, you know, that kind of like started this Bishop Bud thing going on, you know what I'm saying? Later on in the story, the Peblos connected with the 9 Deuce Bishops, you know what I'm saying? And the Peblos picked up that Bishop, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to the 9 Deuce Bishop Bloods. Shit, shout out to the Compton Varrio 7-0s. I don't really know nobody from there, you know what I'm saying? Not saying anything bad about their hood, but I don't personally know any members from there, is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, man, I ain't finna do too much talking. We finna get this shit going, man. Let's get it.
Aside, 2 murders. I did terrible things, brother.
Welcome to Boys in the Hood TV. Today we're gonna be discussing the life of Evil from the 9 Deuce Bishop Bloods. Anthony Bankston was a member of the notorious Watts blood gang called the 9 Deuce Bishop Bloods. Now his street name was Ant Dog, but once the shootings and killings started, he would eventually be referred to as Evil. Now the 9 Deuce Bishops were started by Bobby Lavender in the 1970s and have been a force in Watts ever since. Now the 9 Deuces are known to war with Crips like the Back and Front Street, Grape Street Crips, PJ Watts, and even known blood sets like the Bloodstones. Now Evil will be front and center during these wars. And in 1985, he will be arrested for shooting the East Coast Crip during a confrontation. Now he will be charged with assault with a deadly weapon and great bodily injury enhancement, which will lead him to being sentenced to 3 years.
I see that this video that made note that, you know, the 9 Deuce Bishops had beef with the Bloodstones, and it showed the Bloodstone villain. I don't really know how true that is. To my understanding, the 9 Deuce Bishops and the Swans, for a long time, they haven't been getting along. But lately, you know what I'm saying, they've been on some, niggas ain't even been beefing like that, you know what I'm saying? Like an unofficial ceasefire, niggas ain't doing nothing to each other. It seems like they focusing their attention on other enemies, if you know what I'm saying. But like I said, I'm not sure if the Bloodstone villains participated in that war against the 9 Deuce Bishops. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like it might be some confusion with the Pueblo Bishops that probably have problem with the Bloodstones. You know what I'm saying? Villains, Bloodstone villains to be exact. You know, the Bloodstone villains and the Pueblos don't beef no more. But I think that part of the story you get confused, because when you look it up about the 9 Deuce Bishops and the Pueblo Bishop, they try to kind of like merge the gangs together. Like this the 92nd clique of the Bishop Bloods, and this is the Fados clique. Nah, that's not it. Shit, even the Bebop Watts, that's their own hood. The 9 Deuce Bishop is his own hood. The Pueblo Bishops, even though the Pueblos rep Fados 5-4, it's still separate hoods, you know what I'm saying? But everybody on the east side, the 9 Deuce Bishops fuck with the Pueblos. Pueblos fuck with the 9 Deuce Bishop. You know what I'm saying? I just had to, you know, clear that up right there just to make it clear. Like, I ain't never heard of the Bloodstone villains beefing with the 9 Deuce Bishops. But the Bloodstone villains, if you didn't know, they pushed that VSOP heavily, that villain, swine, outlaw, power rules. So, you know, it wouldn't be surprising, but like I said, I don't know nothing about that, to my understanding, to my knowledge. But anyway, we finna get this shit back going, man. Let's get it.
In prison. Now, while locked up, he will be moved around from different prisons like Folsom, Chino, and Soledad. Now, prison didn't better his behavior, only made him that much worse. And only 2 years into his sentence, he would catch another charge, but this time for being in possession of an explosive device. Now, also while in prison, he would get different infractions like assaulting correctional officers and also being caught with 8 metal shanks found in his cell, with 2 of the shanks being evidence to multiple stabbings of different inmates. Now, by 1989, Evil will be back on the streets. Now, it wouldn't be too long after that he would be arrested yet again for being a felon in possession of a firearm. Now, around February 1991, he will parole and be back out on the streets. But this time, Evil would decide to start venturing out to Compton. Now, once he touched down in Compton, he would start heavily congregating around Ludus Park. But eventually, he would start befriending members of the Chicano gang, the Compton Varrio 7 O's. Now, the Compton Varrio 7 O's, since the 80s, have been known to beef heavily and have a deep hate for the Compton Piru sets like Looters and Mob. But they also beef for Crip sets like ATF, which stands for Acacia Town Farm. But outside of the black gangs, they also do beef with other Sureño gangs like 18th Street, Florencia 13, and another local gang called Compton Varrio Chicano Gang. Now, Evil would develop a close relationship with the Varrio 7 O's. He would eventually start doing hits on rival gang members for the 7 O's. Now, this ruthless mindset, being ready to kill at any time, would earn him a lot of respect amongst the Varrio 7 O's. Now, in a short few months, as his reputation would start to build up, he would soon get CK tatted on his right earlobe, referring to himself as a Crip killer due to his wild behavior while out in Compton. Now, the Compton PD will get word that somebody from LA was out in Compton causing trouble, and that this individual was closely affiliated.
He got caught with 8 shanks, 8 knives, you feel me? That seemed like more than enough weapons for yourself personally, because the nigga only got 2 hands. You know what I'm saying? That sound like some shit. He could have been dispersing them motherfuckers, manufacturing them motherfuckers, getting some money from that, which a lot of niggas do. You know, a lot of people on the internet, you know, motherfuckers speak how they had their knives on them, they bangers. You know what I'm saying? They got busting on, they got cracking on somebody, whatever. They did a removal. You seen this shit online. So kids stay out the streets, it ain't what you think. It's all an illusion, full of confusion. But people with names like Evil, Shiesty, Trifling, Backdoor, you know, all these names with these negative connotations, you feel me? It'd be hard for a person like me to deal with them. You know what I'm saying? Evil, like evil is not nothing good. It's not nothing I want to be around. Now, he could have probably been a good dude, maybe, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But to Big Evil, super evil, cold-hearted, don't give a fuck. You know, you put a D in front of evil, and that spell out devil. You feel me? That's how deep, and that's how negative the connotation to evil is. You feel me? But anyway, we finna get this shit back going, man. Let's get it.
Affiliated with the 7 O's, and it was believed that whoever this individual was had been responsible for a lot of the violent crimes taking place in Compton. On May 10th, 1991, at around 5 p.m., Evil would decide to drive through Compton Varrio Chicano Gang's hood on Thorson Street. So Evil was going through the Chicanos' territory to take out enemies for the Varrio 7 O's. Now, while driving through, he would spot 2 men walking down the street, Florentino Melendez and Noel Sanchez, who had just left a Mother's Day barbecue only moments ago. Now, as both of the men continued to walk, Evil would pull up on them and immediately pull out his AK-47 and aim it through the window and open fire. He would let off multiple shots, hitting Sanchez, who would hit the ground. Now, his friend Melendez would take off running and hide behind a nearby car, but Evil would then fire another shot into Sanchez's body as he laid on the ground. Now, as Evil began to pull off, he would stop directly in the intersection and look straight at Melendez hiding behind the car and smile at him before eventually driving off. Now, Melendez and other family members would come running outside of the barbecue to attend to Sanchez, who had been hit twice in his chest with AK-47 bullets. Now, police and EMTs will be called, who would arrive on scene shortly, and Sanchez will be transported to the hospital, where sadly, he will be pronounced dead. Now, witnesses would tell police that they saw a bald-headed black man with black glasses, driving a gray Volvo, who was fleeing the scene. Now, days later, Melendez would be shown a photo lineup and he would identify Evil as the man that he saw. Now, sometime later, Evil will go to visit a Compton Varrio 7-0 member named Dopey, and he would brag to Dopey that he had just killed some Varrio Chicanos on Thurston Street who he had caught slipping. Now, on May 18th, 1991, Evil will be back out in Watts in the 9 Deuce Bishop hood. Now, he, along with 2 other Bloods, will be out near the beach in Firestone when he would spot a vehicle.
If you ask me, it seemed like Big Evil for 9 Deuce Bishop Bloods was from 2 gangs. He was from Compton Varrio 7-0, and he was from 9 Deuce Bishop Bloods. You feel me? Because you doing skits, you pulling missions on their enemies. What's the rewards? You getting paid for this shit? You talking to their homies, you bragging and niggas listen. They using Big Evil as a crash dummy. Let's be 100% clear about that. Big Evil is doing missions for the Compton Varrio 7-0s, which means they don't have to do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he getting paid. I don't know if it's some drug transactions going on, but he's proud of taking out their enemies. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, a name like Big Evil, it's hard for a motherfucker like me to trust. Because that's some evil shit. Like, what you want to slide on their enemies for? Like, you know, if y'all when your ass go to prison, you know they ain't gonna fuck with your ass. You know it's a whole different set of politics when you hit behind them walls. But maybe Big Evil didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? That the same motherfuckers you pulling skit for in prison, if they get the word they gotta poke your ass up, they gonna kill you, nigga. My mama, no matter what you did for them. So like I said, they was using Big Evil as a crash dummy. Kids, don't be no crash dummy for your hood, no hood, me, nobody else. You see me, I'm not gonna make you no crash dummy. I'm not gonna send you out on no dummy missions. I'm not gonna send no young nigga to do or anybody else to do nothing that I wouldn't do myself. Oh, we about to go slide with shit. I'm sliding with you. We going to the top. I'm going to the top with you. Fuck it. You coming to the top with me. You feel me? I'm about to eat. You about to eat. You about to hunt. I'm finna hunt. But I'm not finna send a nigga on no dummy missions and pump his head up, put a battery in his back to do stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? For crumbs or a little bit of nothing. You know what I'm saying? Kids, stay out the streets. It ain't what you think. So an illusion full of confusion. Stay out the way. Let us see another day, man. Listen, we finna get this shit back going. Last.
With 3 people inside that car who had just pulled up to a taco stand. Now, inside this vehicle were 2 brothers named Benjamin and Benson Jones, along with their sister named Linda. Now, both brothers were members of the Atlantic Drive Compton Crips. Now, their sister Linda would exit the vehicle and go up to the taco stand as both brothers would drive and park down the street near a liquor store. Now, as they parked the car, Evil and his 2 homies would make their way in the direction of the car. Now, as Benson got out of the car, Evil would walk up and yell out,
"What up, blood?"
And as soon as Benson turned around, Evil would pull out a .38 and start shooting. After shooting Benson, Evil would then turn and shoot his brother Benjamin as they both fell to the ground. Next, Evil would then stand over Benson's body and shoot him, this time at close range in his neck. Now, their sister Linda, who was screaming hysterically, it would grab the attention of Evil, who would turn at her and open fire. But she would not be hit, and immediately the 9 Deuce Bishops would flee the scene. Now, 911 will be called and the EMTs would arrive shortly. But sadly, 36-year-old Benson Jones would die from his injuries. Now, although injured, Benjamin Jones would tell police that the shooter was wearing a black striped sweatsuit with the pants being cut off to make shorts. Now, the autopsy report would show that Benson Jones had been hit twice, one to the neck at close range, and the fatal shot which went through his abdomen and tore through his aorta. Now, 2 days after this murder, Benjamin and his sister would meet with the police, who would show them a photo lineup, and they would both identify Evil as the shooter. Now, as the police started to look into who exactly Evil was, they would get more leads that would then tie him to a 3rd murder of a Kelly Park Compton Crip, which they had received information from a known informant. But now the LAPD and Compton PD would start exchanging information, and they would soon come to realize that there had been multiple cold cases that they believe Evil was tied to.
So Big Evil was just doing shit, you know what I'm saying? The 9 Deuce Bishops, though they do beef with Crips, you know what I'm saying? A lot of blood hoods to beef with Crips. But if they not your direct enemy, it ain't never been no bloodshed. Ain't no way you just supposed to be pulling up on them, trying to kill them for nothing, standing over them. Like, ain't even give them a chance to speak. Just, they look like they some Crips, let's kill them, you know what I'm saying? But It's a sad case, and you know what I'm saying, I don't agree with it, but it still goes on to this day. If you caught in the wrong area and you got a certain attire, a certain demeanor about yourself, oh, you like jewelry, you like hats to the back, you like to sag your pants, you like J's, you know what I'm saying? If you caught in the wrong hood, whether you gangbanging or not, whether you consider yourself a non-affiliate or not, a motherfucker can pull up on you and pop your ass. You could be visited family. You just gotta always be mindful of where you at. You know what I'm saying? In LA, you know, a motherfucker that ain't from LA, oh, what part of LA you from? Shit, South Central. Motherfucker that's from LA, where you from? East Side. What part? Shit, the Pueblo. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm from Slauson and Crenshaw. Oh, the West Side. What part of the West Side is that? Some people might say the Crenshaw district. Nah, that's the 60s. You know what I'm saying? Baldwin Village. Oh, that's on the west side. What hood is that? LA, motherfucker. Oh, that's the BPS. Them the jungles over there. You know what I'm saying? We don't just give a motherfucker the city. We give a motherfucker the block and the hood they in. Cause that's LA. You gotta know where the fuck you at. Cause like I said, it's motherfuckers that's still evil, like Big Evil sliding out here ready to kill any and everything. You know what I'm saying? He's sliding for the Southsiders. You know, I don't even know how a nigga would want to do that shit. If you gonna be a Southsider, nigga, be a Southsider, nigga. If you gonna slide for the Southside hood, nigga, go do your shit, nigga. I ain't never heard of no nigga being a blood and then sliding for a Mexican gang. You know what I'm saying? It's just weird. It's just weird to me and it's new, but I guess it's a whole lot of shit in these streets that just don't make sense to nobody. You know what I'm saying? Especially me, because it's an illusion full of confusion. On the real, and it might just be a play to get your ass out the way. Kids, don't be no crash dummy like Big Evil. You know what I'm saying? I don't know him personally, but if you from a blood hood and the Mexicans got you sliding for theirs, it ain't no way around it. Slice it or dice it, flip it or twist it. You's a crash dummy, buddy. But listen, we're finna get this shit back going. Let's get it.
But due to lack of evidence, they were not able to arrest him. Now, sometime later, Compton PD would arrest a Compton Varrio 7-0 affiliate by the name of Dopey on gun charges. Now, while in custody, Dopey would tell detectives that he had information on the murder of Noel Sanchez. He would go on to tell officers that 9 Deuce Bishop Blood, named Ant Dog, aka Evil, had admitted to him that he had killed Noel Sanchez. And at the day that he spoke to Evil about the murder, Evil did have the murder weapon in hand, which was an AK-47. Now, Dopey would also tell detectives that Evil was responsible for multiple shootings and other murders that had yet to be solved. Now, Compton PD, along with the LAPD and the LASD sharing information, they had come to believe that Evil was responsible for killing nearly 8 people since being paroled back in February. So he was a very high priority on their list. Now, only a few days later, Compton PD would be contacted by Dopey that Evil was back in Compton and that he was hanging out on North Mural Street with other Compton Varrio 7-0 members. Now, police would arrive on scene and detain multiple gang members, but they did not see Evil. Now, the following day, Dopey would call the detectives and tell them that Evil nearly killed them last night while they were detaining other members of Compton Varrio. He would go on to state that Evil was hiding in a nearby car with his AK loaded with a 30 round, ready to open fire on Compton PD officer Tim Brennan if he got close enough to his vehicle. Now, on May 22nd,
Shine, shopping online. Get it today.
while riding through Watts, Evil would be pulled over by the sheriffs for a traffic violation. Now, during this traffic stop, officers would find a loaded AK-47 along with the .38 revolver. Now, Evil would be arrested and eventually be charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder, attempted murder, assault with a firearm, and a felon in possession of a firearm. Now, police will get a warrant to search his motel room, where they would find a black and gray sweatsuit with the pants cut up to make shorts, which did match the description of the suspect involved in the murder of Benson Jones. Now, forensics would run ballistics on both the .38 and the AK.
So like I said, man, it just might be a play to get your ass out the way, because it's an illusion full of confusion. Kids stay out the streets, so they ain't what you think. Nigga, homies ain't homies. Ops ain't ops. These are the gang politics. Like I said, man, these niggas will put a battery in your back, have you sliding on your ops, have you doing all the skits, pumping you up like, yeah, man, you did that. Whoop. Nigga, as soon as they get in the jam, nigga, like OTF jam, nigga, they spilling the beans. Nigga, what? You a black nigga sliding for the Mexicans? Nigga, the Mexicans, the Southsiders, they can snitch on blacks, nigga, especially you not being from their hood and they was just using you to commit crime. You bragging about sliding on their ops, they not even bragging to you like, yeah, I slide too. Oh yeah, you did that to the ops for me, fool. Thanks, fool. Thanks, fool. Thanks for doing that. You dumb motherfucking mayate. That's what they thinking. You's a dummy. A crash dummy. Let's make that clear. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they be saying about niggas be so quick to slide on, you know, they so-called ops or they so-called homies, you feel me? But you pulled over for a traffic violation for the police, knowing you got 2 murder weapons inside the car, fully loaded. Why you ain't get cracking on the officers, nigga? You going to jail for all, nigga told on you, nigga. Mama, you going to jail for all day life anyway. Why you ain't shoot it out? Why you ain't empty the clip on the officers, but you standing over on your own people? You damn right you evil. You feel me? You's a poison to the community. He's a poison to my youth. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't want this guy to be a role model to the kids at all. I wouldn't even want to be around this nigga. He take out his own people, but he nice when the officers pull him over. He go to jail with no, you know, no fight, no resisting arrest, no high speed. Just fuck it, turn yourself in, but kill your own. Come on, man, niggas gotta. Hey, like I said, man, he's a poison to the community. We finna get this shit back going. Let's get it.
And both bullets will come back a match to both of the murders of Noel Sanchez and the murder of Benson Jones. Now, while in custody, Evo will get the information of every witness that was set to testify against him before the preliminary hearing. He will call both the Jones family and the Sanchez family, threatening them, telling them not to show up in court, but instead to handle it in the street like men. Now, by 1995, Evo will eventually go to trial for only 2 out of 3 of the murders. And for his trial, instead of having legal counsel, he would decide to represent himself. Now, the first trial will be for the death of the Atlantic Drive Compton Crip, Benson Jones. Now, the prosecution will present multiple witnesses, which included Linda and Benjamin Jones, who were both eyewitnesses to the murder. Now, both would identify Evo as the man who killed their brother. Now, Lieutenant Officer Reggie Wright Sr. will take the stand and testify that both Jones brothers had been Atlantic Drive Compton Crips since the late 70s. And he will go on to confirm that Evo was an active member from the 9 Deuce Bishop Bloods. Now, with Evo representing himself, he would call Benson Jones' wife, named DJ, to testify. Now, she would testify that hours before his murder, she and him did have an argument over her unborn child, father being by another man named Nate. Now, she would admit that the man named Nate had frequently visited the area that Benson was killed in. Now, Evo was trying to paint the picture that the possible baby father of this child named Nate was responsible for the death of Benson and not him. But ultimately, the jury will find Evo guilty of first-degree murder of Benson Jones. Now, next up will be the murder of Varrio Chicano gang member Noel Sanchez. Now, the star witness will be